What if Kyojuro Rengoku didn't stop at becoming a Hashira, but pushed flame breathing to its absolute peak? A version of Rengoku who mastered every form, awakened his full potential, and surpassed even the limits of other Hashira. This is the timeline of the fully awakened Flame Hashira. But then the real questions begin. Would he unlock the Demon Slayer mark? Could he finally defeat Akaza? How much would the Infinity Castle arc change? And most importantly, could Rengoku save the Hashira who were destined to die? Every single night, the sound of flames echoed through the Rengoku estate, not from fire, but from swords. From the moment the sun disappeared until dawn arrived, a young boy could be seen swinging his blade endlessly, under the guidance of the former Flame Hashira himself. This time, Shinjuro Rengoku never gave up. After the death of his wife, instead of drowning himself in alcohol and despair, he chose something else. He chose to raise his son into the strongest swordsman of the era, and because of that single decision, the entire fate of the Demon Slayer Corps changed forever. Canonically, Kyojuro became a Hashira through pure talent. No teacher, no guidance, only books and relentless training. But in this timeline, he is personally trained by the strongest Flame Hashira of his generation. Shinjuro no longer sees flame breathing as a failed imitation of sun breathing. Instead, he accepts the truth that flame breathing is one of the closest styles to the original sun breathing itself, a style capable of monstrous power if mastered completely. And so, Kyojuro's training becomes absolute hell. Shinjuro teaches him how to regulate every breath, every heartbeat, every muscle movement. He teaches him how flame breathing isn't just about explosive attacks, it's about becoming a raging inferno itself. A swordsman whose spirit burns hotter than fear. Years pass, and eventually, Kyojuro becomes a monster. He rises through the Demon Slayer ranks faster than anyone expected. Even elite Hashira like Sanemi Shinazugawa and Gyu Tomioka realize something terrifying. Rengoku is surpassing them. His strength rivals even Gyomei Himajima. But Shinjuro's greatest gift isn't training, it's knowledge. Before retiring completely, he hands Kyojuro generations of records left behind by previous Flame Hashira. Inside those records lies the hidden truth of the Demon Slayers. The Demon Slayer mark, the transparent world, the selfless state. Techniques thought to be myths. The closer one gets to sun breathing, the closer one gets to these abilities. And from that moment onward, Kyojuro trains harder than ever before. Events involving Tanjiro Kamado and Nezuko Kamado remain mostly unchanged, until the Mugen Train mission. This time, before boarding the train, Rengoku tells Tanjiro something shocking. He reveals the existence of sun breathing. He explains that Hinokami Kagura is connected to the original breathing style itself, and he promises Tanjiro something. If we survive this mission, I will train you personally. Tanjiro's eyes light up with hope, but before they can continue, the train suddenly falls silent. Enmu has already begun attacking. The battle against Enmu ends instantly. Before Enmu can fully fuse with the train, Rengoku disappears from his seat. Passengers only see a streak of fire moving across the train cars. One slash. Flame breathing ignites the darkness. Enmu's neck is severed instantly. The lower moon dies before even understanding what happened, but then the air changes. A smile appears in the moonlight. Akaza arrives. Akaza immediately senses Rengoku's power. Unlike canon, he doesn't toy with him. He attacks seriously from the start. The ground explodes beneath his feet as he launches forward with destructive death. But Rengoku blocks effortlessly. Shockwaves tear through the forest. Trees collapse around them. Akaza smiles wider. For the first time in centuries, he has found a human worth fighting seriously. The battle escalates rapidly. Akaza launches barrages of punches capable of pulverizing mountains. Rengoku counters every single one, using perfectly refined flame breathing. Their clash lights up the night sky like fireworks. Tanjiro can barely follow their movements anymore. Every collision creates flaming shockwaves. Akaza eventually goes all out. Compass needle activates. His senses sharpen completely, yet no matter how hard he attacks, he cannot land a clean hit on Rengoku. Still, Akaza keeps regenerating. And every time Rengoku swings his sword, Akaza narrowly dodges due to sensing his fighting spirit. The battle reaches a stalemate. Then, Rengoku's heartbeat changes. His temperature rises beyond 39 degrees, then 40. Veins resembling flame spread across his body. The Demon Slayer mark awakens. Everything changes instantly. Rengoku's speed increases so drastically that Akaza's eyes widen in fear. For the first time in centuries, Upper Moon 3 is being overwhelmed. Rengoku's flames begin turning red hot. His strikes become impossible to predict. Akaza starts retreating, trying to survive until sunrise. But Rengoku blocks every escape route. Akaza desperately unleashes Destructive Death, Annihilation type. The ground erupts apart, but Rengoku walks straight through it. And then, his presence disappears completely. Selfless State awakens. Akaza suddenly cannot sense battle spirit anymore. Panic spreads across his face. Rengoku vanishes. Flame breathing, 9th form, Rengoku. A massive flaming dragon engulfs the battlefield. Akaza's head flies off instantly, and before regeneration can begin, Rengoku's blade turns bright red. Akaza's body disintegrates completely under the rising sun. Upper Moon 3 dies. Rengoku survives, barely. He collapses from exhaustion as Tanjiro, Zenitsu Agatsuma, Inosuke, and Nezuko celebrate around him. For the first time in generations, a marked slayer has appeared. After recovering at the Butterfly Mansion, Rengoku attends a Hashira meeting. Kagaya Ubuyashiki personally praises him for killing Upper Moon 3. Then he gives Rengoku a new mission. Train the Hashira. Teach them how to awaken the Demon Slayer mark. The transparent world. The selfless state. And so, the greatest training period in Demon Slayer history begins. Every Hashira undergoes brutal conditioning. Gyomei becomes the first after Rengoku to master Selfless State. Then Muichiro. Then Giyu, Sanemi, Obanai, Mitsuri, even Tengen Uzui awakens it. Meanwhile, Rengoku personally trains Tanjiro in sun breathing. He teaches him its forms, its rhythm, its true purpose. Tanjiro eventually awakens his Demon Slayer mark far earlier than canon. The core is evolving rapidly, and Muzan begins to panic. Then comes the Entertainment District battle. This time, Tengen is far stronger. The moment Daki attacks, Tanjiro blitzes forward and decapitates her instantly. But then her brother emerges. Poison floods the battlefield. He tries to land a lethal blow on Tanjiro, but Tengen blocks it. He starts fighting Gyutaro, and this time awakens the Selfless State mid-fight. He becomes invisible. At the same moment, Tengen's cleavers cut clean through Gyutaro's neck. Both Upper Moons die instantly, without Tengen losing his arm and eye. The Swordsmith village arc proceeds similarly. Gyoko and Hantengu are defeated, and now, only 2 true Upper Moons remain, Kokushibo and Douma. Muzan assembles the remaining Upper Moons. His rage becomes unbearable. He promotes Nakime and Kaigaku. Then he personally heads toward the Ubuyashiki mansion. But this time, Kagaya does not sacrifice himself, because he already knows humanity can win. The moment Muzan arrives, all the Hashira surround him, and Tamayo injects a massive amount of anti-Muzan drug directly into his body. Muzan roars in fury. The Infinity Castle opens, and every Demon Slayer falls inside. Inside the Infinity Castle, Kagaya guides everyone using Kasugai crows. He sends Shinobu, Rengoku, Inosuke, and Kanao Tsuyuri toward Douma. The moment they arrive, Douma smiles arrogantly. But before he can even speak, Rengoku cuts off both his arms instantly. Douma's eyes widen in shock. Shinobu immediately injects poison into the wounds. Douma retaliates by freezing the air around them. Ice lotuses bloom everywhere. The temperature drops so low, the castle itself freezes. But Rengoku steps forward calmly. Flame breathing, final form. His flames explode outward like a miniature sun. Every ice attack melts instantly. Rengoku blitzes through Douma, slicing off all 4 limbs in seconds. Meanwhile, Inosuke and Kanao pin Douma down using their blades. Shinobu injects massive poison directly into his body. And finally, Rengoku decapitates him with the red Nichirin blade. Upper Moon 2 dies. Meanwhile, Giyu and Tanjiro join the battle against Kokushibo alongside Muichiro and Genya. Then Sanemi and Gyomei arrive. But this time, all of them possess the transparent world and selfless state thanks to Rengoku's training. Kokushibo is overwhelmed. Moon breathing clashes against 5 fully awakened slayers. The Infinity Castle is carved apart repeatedly. Eventually, Muichiro stabs Kokushibo with the red blade directly through the torso. Kokushibo begins disintegrating slowly, and for the first time in centuries, he remembers his loving brother, Yoriichi Tsugikuni. He dies peacefully. Both Muichiro and Genya survive. Elsewhere, Mitsuri and Obanai stall Nakime while Yushiro takes control of her mind. Realizing she has been compromised, Muzan kills Nakime himself. And then, the final battle begins. Muzan emerges in his weakened state, but unlike canon, the Hashira are not weakened. They are stronger than ever. The moment Muzan sees Rengoku's blazing aura, memories of Yorichi flood his mind. Fear consumes him instantly. He immediately targets Rengoku with lethal attacks, but Gyome intercepts them. The battlefield erupts into chaos. Tentacles destroy entire city blocks. Obanai and Mitsuri coordinate perfectly. Sanemi and Giyu cut through Muzan's attacks repeatedly. Tanjiro uses sun breathing alongside Rengoku. The two create walls of flames powerful enough to force Muzan backward. And because there are extra healthy Hashira alive, Mitsuri never loses her arms. Obanai never loses his eyes. Their teamwork remains perfect throughout the battle. Eventually dawn approaches. Muzan desperately attempts to split apart into fragments, but Tamayo's drug prevents it completely. The sunlight reaches him, and the Demon King disintegrates, screaming beneath the rising sun. All the Hashira survive long enough to witness victory, but shortly afterward, Gyome dies from his fatal wounds and the effects of awakening the mark past the age of 25. The Hashira mourn him deeply. Sanemi becomes kinder toward Genya. Tengen eventually adopts Muichiro like family. Kagaya's curse disappears with Muzan's death, allowing him to finally live peacefully beside his wife and children. And Rengoku, the man whose flames changed destiny itself, becomes remembered as the Hashira who brought humanity its happy ending.